If a drug addict from a broken home who faced life in prison, a drug addict who shouldn't even be here, who almost died in a parking lot, who has a crazy story of overcoming so many moments of adversity, if we could be here talking about purpose and fulfillment, and we're sober and we're healthy, and we're creating success financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in our relationships, why the fuck couldn't you? It's because you're not trying hard enough and you gave up a long time ago. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane. I'm here with my guest, Matt Fleming. We're in the Unstoppable HQ in beautiful Santa Barbara, California. So today I want to share with you really a message for those of you that want to achieve at the highest level. I want to give you a simple framework that you can execute in your life right now to crush all your goals, overcome any obstacle, and really surpass the limitations that most people get stuck living in their lives. This is something that I've seen other high achievers and successful business owners speak on, and something that I've really turned into my own blueprint that I execute personally and professionally. This is what took me from a drug addict, a guy facing life in prison, broke with nothing, to a 7-figure earner, a coach, a speaker, a family man, just somebody thriving in life. And I'm just getting started, you guys. Like, this is nothing compared to where we're going. So this is something that I see Matt Fleming execute every single day in his life. He's on this path. And as I share this message with you, I want you to think about where you're at in this journey. Number one, what are you neglecting in your life that needs to be done? Number two, like, where are you out in your journey? If you understand this framework I'm going to give you, you're going to be able to see how to quickly navigate past stuck points, how to overcome procrastination, how to really level up. Like, I'm talking about on a massive scale. So if you know who Brad Lee is the host of Dropping Bombs podcast. I did that with him about 3 years ago. He has some of the best speakers, business owners, influential people in the world on his podcast. And I've seen him speak a couple times live. And Brad always talks about 3 things if you want to be successful: mindset, habits, and skill set. So I was thinking a lot about that because it's true. But there's a 4th one that I want to talk about today as well, and that's relationships. Relationships with the right people can massively expedite your growth and results in your life. Relationships at home are so important because if you're growing a business and becoming successful, but you're neglecting your family and you're not present with them, then what does the money and success even mean, right? Like, we say we do it for our families, but a lot of you motherfuckers don't. You do it for yourself, right? You don't care. Otherwise, you'd be more present and you'd spend more time looking them in the eye and listening to them than you would on your phone or on social media. And that's the truth. But anyway, I want to break down 4 key aspects of becoming a high achiever and becoming super successful in life. The first one is your mindset. The second one is your habits. The third one is your skill set. And the 4th one is your relationships. And typically in that order. So let's start with mindset, because without the right mindset, you're never going to get to the apex of success in your life. You're never going to be able to break through the fears and limitations that steal most people's dreams. You're not going to have the ability to push through the tough days and withstand the stress and pressure. Like, your fucking mindset is everything. Being optimistic, being grateful, being able to see solutions even when there's no sign of success. Like, you have to use your mentality to push you through that first phase of the journey, which is going from someone who's unaware, unsuccessful, to someone who's starting that journey by taking the first couple steps. So Matt, when you think about like mindset, like, I know when I developed my mindset, it was in a really dark place in prison where I had to learn to use my mind for good. I couldn't be a victim. I couldn't think about worst case scenarios like most people do. I had to train my mind to be positive and optimistic, even in adverse situations. Can you speak on that? Like, how important is that if you want to be successful in life, to develop the right mindset?
I mean, I think your mind is the most powerful tool that you possess. You know, it could be your best friend or your worst enemy. And one of the things I do, just to prime myself for the day when I get up, is just tap into gratitude. We talk about that all the time, and I've been working on that more and more over the last few years, to the point where now, like today, my routine is I won't get out of bed until I tell myself, 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for before I even get out of bed. Don't touch my phone, and just tapping into that gratitude. And if you can prepare yourself to go out in the world with that mentality, you're going to fucking win every single time. If you can train yourself to look for the good in any and all situations, you're going to go out and you're going to have an amazing day. And you do that over and over again, and you're going to turn that into amazing weeks and months, and, you're just going to have a successful life. And I don't know. I love the mindset I have today because I grew up as a very negative kid. I was the kid punching holes in drywall. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can relate to that. And would just like negative, always playing the victim role. And today, that's not the case at all. I'm a very positive person. I try to see the best in any and all situations. You know, grow from all the adversity. And I learned a lot of that from you. You know, I remember last year was one of the toughest years of my life. It was like my second year sober, and I went through a lot of bullshit. And you kept telling me, you're like, you know, you got a big level up coming. And I wanted to believe you, but I wasn't quite sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, kept showing up every single day to the best of my ability. I was back at the athletic club where I used to work yesterday and today, but I was there yesterday. And I was talking about like when I was just trying to get ahead financially, and I was finally, you know, getting to a place where I was somewhat comfortable, and then my car got broken into, and they ripped the ignition out, and then it got towed, and then I had this car with the ignition all fucked up, and the impound I couldn't get out. All said and done, I paid like $2,000 to, you know, $2 or $3 to get it fixed and get it out of impound, and totaled it 2 days later from texting and driving, my own fucking fault. But you know what I did? I ran to work the next morning at 4 o'clock in the morning in the fucking rain, dude. And
Well, here's the thing about that. I remember when Matt was going through this adversity, he had like 10 things happen to him in a 2-month span. And I remember when he totaled his car and he was so down and pissed off. And I remember I told you, I was like, dude, fucking put your backpack on tomorrow and run to work and videotape it and show the whole world what you're doing. Because look,
It was raining, too,
this
that
is like
morning.
making, you know, lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yeah.
There's a saying like, there's two types of people in this world. When stuff happens to them, they become victims and they get discouraged and they quit or give up. And they make things worse with their attitude and reaction. Or there's the person that's crazy as fuck, like me and Matt are, who's like, you know what, I'm going to run to work at 4 a.m. with a backpack on in the dark, and I'm going to videotape it and share it with the world.
it was a 5-mile run in the rain.
But
no
that's
joke.
a leader. So you have to lead yourself before you can lead others. But it's all mindset, like Matt said. And honestly, you have to be your own coach in life. You have to talk yourself through these moments. You're going to have adversity. Shit's going to go wrong. You're going to be in traffic. You're going to have bills. You're going to be stressed out. Family members are going to die. Like, life's full of adversity.
Yeah.
The person that can pause in those moments and talk themselves through it and believe that something good could come from those situations has a massive advantage. Because most people react, they get discouraged, and they make things worse, or they become depressed, or they turn to drugs and alcohol. They never rebound from those life circumstances. So, you know, if you can continue to show up in the face of adversity and remain positive and optimistic and just keep doing the work in your life to improve who you are, you have such a level up coming your way. Like, you don't realize how strong you're growing through those moments. And, you know, like what you're saying though, Matt, is really important. He's talking about every morning he focuses on gratitude. If you can spend 15 and 20 minutes focusing on all the good in your life before you do anything, before you look at your phone, before you check emails, before you leave to work, before you even talk to anyone, you can tap into that energy internally. You can start to cultivate it. You know, I first learned this in prison. Every day I'd wake up and I'd be in this fucking cell, facing life, hungry, missing my family. Like, all the negative thoughts, the worst fears would start to surface. Turn that off. And I'd have to sit there in my mind, and I'd have to think about all the good in my life. And I'd talk to myself about the fact that I was alive and breathing. I would talk to myself and pray and thank God for just the fact that I had eyes, that I had legs, that I had an opportunity that day to better myself. And then I would picture all my family members' faces and think of them just out in life, thriving, healthy, crushing it, pursuing their goals. And I was able to tap into gratitude in those moments. And that became the catalyst for the daily actions I needed to partake in to actually improve who I was and improve my life. Because here's the thing. Gratitude, like, what do they say in the Bible? Like, faith without works is dead. You could say you're grateful, but until you demonstrate it, you're not going to feel the effects of really believing in that. You know what I mean? Like, when you put the positive thoughts and feelings with the positive actions, you become unstoppable. And that leads me to, like, my next point is, like, your daily habits. Because we're talking about mindset, habits, skill set, and relationships. And it really goes in this order. Without the right mindset, you're not going to be able to do the work consistently. You're not going to develop the habits that really change your life. So the right self-talk, being positive, tapping into gratitude, gives you the ability to consistently execute the actions that really change your life. Like, if you think about being healthy, but you don't go to the gym and work out or eat clean, you're not going to be fucking healthy. If you think about becoming a millionaire, but you're not putting in the work, you're not going to become a millionaire. If you think about these things and really, like, try to develop the right mindset without doing the work, it's not going to happen for you. But the mindset is what makes the work possible. Then it's the daily actions, because you become grateful for the daily actions. Like, the two work hand in hand. You tap into gratitude for just being alive and the simple things in life. That's going to give you the inspiration to do the work that day. Then you go to bed feeling proud of the work you did. And so now you compound that gratitude. You elevate yourself internally. And over time, that's what takes you from here to here. Like that's what takes you from somebody who's not driven, not motivated, starting to believe that you can change to actually fucking changing. So Matt, what would you say? Like, because the habits are everything. Yeah. You want a good body, you want to make money, you want to be a good family man. Like whatever you want, it's about the daily actions that create those outcomes. What would you say are like the top 3 habits that someone needs to form right now that just wants to live the ultimate life? Like right now, if there's 3 to 5 things you could tell them to do every day and you guarantee it'll improve the quality of their life in the next 5 years, what would you tell somebody?
I mean, number 1 is always going to be take care of your health and fitness. So get some sort of gym routine going on. Get into healthy eating habits, because food not only, it affects your brain, it affects the way you think. You eat all that ultra processed food, it's making you fucking stupid. And that's not me just saying that. Go look at the data behind it, you know? So get those 2 things down. Develop some sort of, you know, hobby that's going to develop your creativity. You know, I'm big into the gym. I love fitness, but I've been trying to find other things that kind of spark my interest. I used to draw a lot when I was a kid, so I've been doing that a little bit lately in my free time. Reading books, obviously, is an obvious one. Just, I'm sure we've all had things in our life that we were passionate about at some point in time that we kind of let go on the back burner, right? Maybe just faded away a little bit. And I've been trying to tap into that creativity for myself more lately. So where are we at?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Cause so exercise is really important. You don't have to lift weights like Matt and I do. You could go out and hike, you could go swim. You should lift weights, but here's the thing. What he also said is really important. Like, do something that brings out your creativity. Yeah. Everyone's a little different. Some of you might be into drawing, or you might be more autistic. Some of you might like to get out in nature. Some of you might be more social, and you like to get around people, and that gets you feeling good. Do things every day that make you feel proud of who you are. That's the thing. Yeah. And things that are catalysts in your life to help you grow and learn and evolve. So, like, I think you should all get up early and have time to reflect. 100%. Most people are in a reactive state all day long. If you just get up for 20 minutes and you just think about life, you're going to get a lot of answers. You're going to get a lot of creativity. You're going to start to connect the dots in your life. Then go move your body. When you sweat and you push through a difficult workout, you elevate yourself so much. You elevate beyond fear, anxiety, all those low-level emotions. You get clarity. That's where a lot of creative ideas come from, when you're having the blood flow to the brain and you're in the moment working out. And then Matt said eating good food is important. Hell yeah, it is. Like, you got to take care of your body. Put good quality food in your body. If you're someone eating fast food and processed food, like, just tell yourself you're a low-level human being and accept it or change, because that's the truth. Low-level people eat for pleasure. People who want to achieve at the highest level eat for purpose. I just eat rice and fucking venison all day long. I don't even remember what it tastes like. I just know that I feel amazing and I have unlimited energy, and I love the way I look and feel. Imagine the guy going out into life feeling that way versus the guy that just needs a cheeseburger because he's craving it, or he can't say no to the ice cream because his cravings are so strong. That's a fucking guy who doesn't have control over his actions. That guy can't produce shit in life. And this is the truth, right? And then, reading books is so important. People like audiobooks and podcasts, and those are cool, but something about sitting there and reading and reflecting on the information you're absorbing. Anything you want to learn in the world, you can read and absorb that information and apply it to your life. Like, it's so easy to learn things and be successful. I could learn trigonometry right now and maybe one day go back and be a professor teaching trigonometry. Like, they probably wouldn't hire me because I'm a felon, but I'm just telling you, that's an example. Like, the information's there.
It's all out there.
It doesn't matter how complex it is or what. It just takes time and effort. But then the last thing, and this is something I do every day, is I reflect on my day. I take 5 minutes before I fall asleep, and I just envision my day, and I think about the ideal person I want to be, and ask myself, was I that man today? Or did I, do something out of character? Did I, in a moment, lose my cool? Did I react to a situation emotionally? Did I show up for my family? Did I show up for myself? Did I do everything I said I promised I was going to do? And 9 times out of 10, I go to sleep at peace because I'm giving my all to this life, because I have a process every day, these habits we're talking about, that I can see the growth in real time. I can feel it. I feel proud of myself. And this is something that I learned way back in prison. I didn't have a TV, a phone. I didn't have clothes and watches and cars and all this bullshit that you guys think is so important. I just had the truth. And the truth was, how the fuck did you show up for yourself today? Did you do the things that make you proud, or did you make excuses and break promises to yourself? And honestly, the core of success is that right there, is you being honest with yourself and living in integrity with who you want to be. And if you can do that every day, like Matt's demonstrating it, if you can do that every day for long periods of time, success comes to you because you become the person that can naturally attract those opportunities in those relationships, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't really know how to explain why it all works the way it works. It just fucking works, right? Like if you don't know what your purpose is right now, make your purpose to become the best version of yourself. And I
100%.
guarantee everything else will fall into place. And, I've shared this before on old podcasts and stuff, and we've talked about it. But it's like when I first came back to Santa Barbara, when I first got sober, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was so lost, but I was so grateful to be sober. And I just had this, I told myself, I'm going to do the exact opposite of everything the old version of myself would do. And so that's what I did. And I executed that to the best of my ability every single day. And it's got me to some pretty fucking cool places, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just the beginning. Like you were talking about earlier, like I didn't see any of this happening. I didn't know any of all the how
The
like,
craziest stuff happens when you show up every day and improve who you are.
and if someone were to ask me what the plan was going to be in 3 short years, this wouldn't have been it. I wouldn't have been able to make this shit up. You know what I mean? Like all the cool shit we've done. And just being in this office and everything, it's like...
Well, yeah, the people we're connected to, the places we're going. It's like, the law of attraction is real, and magic happens when you live in alignment with your truth. And Matt, you hit the nail on the head. You're like, if anyone doesn't know what your purpose is, right now your purpose is to become your best self, someone that you completely love and respect and admire in every way possible.
And that should always be your purpose, too.
Yeah.
You should never... you'll find other things along the way that you're going to start pursuing, but that should always be first and foremost, is becoming... and continuing to become the best version of yourself, because evolving never stops.
Well, dude, if I made $1 million today, but I drank alcohol, I punched someone in the face, and I cheated on my wife, I would feel like shit.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? It's not the money and the stuff. It's living in integrity with who you know you should be. Now, if I made no money today, I was back in a jail cell, yeah, I'd miss my family, right? But if I was doing all the right things, like I would be able to cultivate internal peace. I did a long time ago, and it changed my life because I found inner peace in such a dark place. And I didn't have the stuff, right? But I was doing the right things that made me feel proud of myself every single day for thousands of days. So that's the key. Like, that's why I'm talking about mindset and habits right now. Because if you don't have this foundation built, you're never going to be able to achieve success at the highest level. Success at the highest level is when you have all the stuff, but internally you feel fulfilled and you're at peace. The stuff comes as a byproduct of who you evolve into over time. So you have to have the right mindset, and you have to have these habits established to become that person. So let's move into the third piece of this equation, which is skill set. This is when you actually start to see the results. We start to be able to earn money. You start to be able to grow your business. You start to be able to have stuff. And like when you have a skill set, you become dangerous as fuck, because now you have the right mindset and habits. You develop the right skill set. And this is when you really become unstoppable. The skills that I learned when I came home from prison were how to use social media to tell my story. So marketing, how to build real relationships with people, which was the beginning of my coaching program, and get them results. And so in the process of doing that, I had to know how to have conversations with people, how to understand people's pain points, how to be relatable, and how to help them to commit to a course of action that was scary, joining my coaching program. But in that coaching program, they changed their mindset, their habits, they got in shape, they evolved into better versions of themselves. So one of the hardest things to do is get human beings to get out of their comfort zone. Because psychologically speaking, we're terrified of the unknown. We'd rather stay stuck in the known, even if it was a life and a body and a mind that we hated, versus getting out in that unknown where it's unpredictable. We don't know what's to come. So I got really good at creating content that resonated with people, navigating those conversations in the DMs, and sales calls. So those three things literally helped me to make more than 7 figures by myself, literally like from a laptop or a phone in my room, in my house during COVID, while I was raising young kids and having, babies with my wife. Like, it was crazy. I was sitting in there just fucking making 20, 30, 50,000 a month, 70,000 a month by myself, just on my phone. But I was pouring my heart and soul into my messages. And it was all of those days of showing up for myself, like the mindset that I'm telling you about, and the daily habits that were compounded over time to make that message valuable. Right? People could feel that energy. Despite the miles between us, they could feel the energy that I was emitting and transferring through my message on a cell phone. And if they're in Florida, New York, Tennessee, Texas, it didn't matter. So I started growing that business during that time. That's when I really understood the value of skill sets, right? Marketing, sales, and then the ability to speak in an articulate manner and really transfer that energy to people at a high level. When you can transfer emotion and energy to people at a high level, you're literally like a magician. You fucking cast a spell on them. Well, I'm not manipulating people, for wrong reasons. I'm manipulating you to pursue your dreams. I'm transferring belief in you that you don't even have to get you to overcome your own limitations. Like, that's what I love to see. And Matt, you've seen this. We do it firsthand all the time. You've seen it in person. So what do you think about skill sets? Where are you at on this journey right now? Because I've seen you go through a massive level up over the last 30 to 60 days. And I believe it's because you have the mindset and the habits and you have that foundation. And now you've been working relentlessly to develop the skills. Yeah. So what skills are you working on right now? And why do you think they're valuable?
I mean, really just articulating my message is something I've been working on a lot. And not because, like you're saying, it's one thing to have all the information, but then to be able to articulate it in a way where people actually want to listen to you, that's a skill set. It's valuable, I know I've got a lot of good things to share because I know I've brought myself out of a situation that most people don't make it out of, dude. And I firmly believe that if I can, get from where I was to where I'm at and where I'm going, I can help anyone. Because there were some very, very bad times in my life where I didn't want to make it out. I didn't think I was going to. And I just want to share that, and I'm passionate about this thing because I've seen guys change their life and I know what it can do for them. And it's just a good feeling. It's a really good feeling to see someone break through their own limiting beliefs and help them grow in their own journey. Like you've helped me and other people have helped me. Like you believed in me and saw things in me whenever I didn't believe in myself, and I appreciate that a lot. Like you gave me a lot of confidence, and I've always lacked that growing up. And, just having someone that believes in you and pushes you to do some things and get outside your comfort zone is a game changer. Now, I don't have limiting beliefs anymore. The vision has gotten bigger. I don't really think there's anything I can't do in this life if I'm not, as long as I'm willing to work for it. It's not just going to come to me. But again, just becoming the best version of yourself, showing up every single day, figuring things out through trial and error. Like behind every I can't is an I won't, right?
Yeah, and that's
it's
such
not
a good point.
I can't do it. It's I won't do it, or I'll figure it out. It's one of those two. It's like there should be no I can'ts in your vocabulary.
Yeah, quitters say I can't. Yeah. People that don't want it bad enough say I can't.
Well, that's how I lived my whole life before, is I can't do this.
But here's the thing. When you're doing the right thing just on a personal level every day, you start to believe in yourself, and then you start to look at other areas of your life and you go, maybe I can improve that. You know what? Maybe I can get a better job. Maybe I deserve better relationships. And so you elevate your feelings of yourself, like your own self-worth, and you look at the world and it doesn't match up anymore. So you got to change that shit.
Yeah. Well, the affirmations thing, like, I'm all about positive affirmations and talking, how you talk to yourself is so important. But again, you got to back that up with action. You could sit and tell yourself, you're an amazing person that's going to achieve all this shit over and over again until your face is blue. But if you're not doing things every single day to become that person, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, honestly, affirmations, they're good. Like, if you say positive things to yourself and back it up with action, it makes that belief that much more powerful.
Positive self-talk is very important.
I never sit in the fucking mirror and say, Sean, you're so good, you can do it. I just go out and do it. I go out and do it. Like,
I do both.
I think about it and then I act upon it. Here's the thing. Sure. Really successful people take massive action and they operate with speed of action. Yeah. Like, ask anybody. The moment I have an idea or a thought, I'm fucking implementing it. Right? I implement things before they're built and created, like I do. Ask my wife, like the moment we have an idea or something, I'm like booking the flight, booking the hotel, baby, let's do it. And that's the way I live, man. I'm all in on this life. I'm not here just to think about shit and plan it out perfectly. I live through experience. I learn through experience, and so far that's worked out for me. But, what Matt's talking about is so important. Like, just becoming someone who believes in themselves is a superpower. And the way you do that is you do work every day to improve who you are. So it's mindset, it's habits. And then as far as skill sets go, for anybody who wants to be successful listening to this, being fit is a skill set. Yeah. Eating right, like knowing about nutrition, is a skill set. That's a 7 or 8 figure skill set, because when you become attractive to the world, you create so many opportunities. I don't care if you're a real estate agent. I don't care if you're doing eyelashes and nails in a salon. Like, whatever you're doing, you need to be attractive to the world. The way you you take care of yourself, that's going to send a message to the world. Are you fat and sloppy and out of shape? Why are people going to want to trust you? You can't even take care of yourself. How are you going to take care of them in business? Like Andy Elliott says this all the time. People ask him, why are you fit, Andy? Why do you work out so much? He goes, dude, look at how fit I am. Look how much I take care of myself. Do you trust me? Do you think I take care of myself? I'm going to take care of you, right? Like it's the subliminal message we pass on. So being fit is a skill set. Eating right's a skill set. Then being able to articulate a powerful message and transfer energy and motivate and inspire people, that's such a valuable skill set, right? So intertwined in there, you have marketing and sales, which everything is marketing and sales. Like when you got your girlfriend or your wife, you marketed yourself and then you sold her on why she should be with you. Straight up, right? Like when you go and you want to buy a car, like you're negotiating with the car dealership, right? And the sales guys there. You're in a sale. Like you're either being sold or you're selling them, right? So everywhere you go in life, whatever you're doing, the school you're picking for your kids, the place that you choose to get gas at, like the car you drive around, the relationships you're in, you're marketing yourself to the world and you're selling people on why they should believe you and trust you. Those skill sets right there will make you immensely valuable. And that brings me to my last point is relationships. Here's the thing that really helped me to grow my business online and create opportunities that I have today. When I walked into a fucking room, I was ready. You know what I mean? When I got on a podcast set, when I got on stage, I was fucking ready. I was the person that could deliver. I was the guy who was 12 years in the making, who envisioned and dreamed of those opportunities and prayed to God, and I prepared every day like I was getting $1 billion opportunity. Like my first videos were in a little dungeon of a fucking apartment that we were living in when I was broke, and my whiteboard was nailed to the dining room wall. Yeah. And I'm sitting there filming videos, envisioning becoming a millionaire, changing the world, like helping millions of lives. Like every video I would do to the best of my ability. Guess what? I go back and look at those videos and they suck compared to now. But my heart and my intentions were genuine. And I was all in. I wasn't scared. And because of that, I showed up every day. I'd go out at 4 a.m. and run and film a video and put it on Facebook Live. And I would speak as if I was speaking to millions of people. Maybe 3 people watched it live and then 100 people after on the replay. But it's because I had that mentality that this is the biggest opportunity. I'm showing up and I'm giving my best. Like it compounded over time. Now when I walk into a room and I meet a guy like a Bradley and Andy Elliott, the Muscle Keaton, whoever it is, like I know that I belong in that room and my subconscious mind knows all the repetitions I put in, all the days I showed up. And because of that, my confidence is genuine. Like my conviction is real. I don't have to fake it. I'm not scared. I'm not timid. I'm ready to seize those moments. And so the relationships can massively catapult you in your career and on your trajectory for success. Like Matt's seen firsthand the people that we now talk to every day. I mean, world changers, people at the top of the top of the top in the business and entrepreneurial world. Like we're one phone call away from anybody that you could think of right now. We're one text message away from anybody that you could think of right now who's a celebrity, an athlete, a business owner, a mega multimillionaire, a successful person. How does that happen? Fucking relationships, right? And so a good book, real quick, I'm gonna let you share. A good book to read to understand this is Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. Like, who do you need to network with? Who do you need to get to know? Who do you need to surround yourself with? And first and foremost, though, who do you need to become to make those people even recognize you? Right? So Matt, what do you think about like the relationships? You've seen firsthand how that's changed our career, our lives. What would you say to people right here? And we're talking about professionally, really, right? Because relationships at home is a whole different subject. But what would you say about being around the right people that are going to help you to achieve your dreams?
Well, I mean, it's all about who you know, honestly. Like your network is your net worth, right? You hear people say that all the time. And you are who you surround yourself with, and as you become a better version of yourself, you're going to attract different types of people into your life, and certain people are going to fall out of your circle, and that's perfectly okay too. And it's just a really cool thing, man. Like you started saying not even that long ago, hey, we're going to create the #1 personal development program in the world. And again, I wanted to believe you wholeheartedly, but it's like I'm still getting to that place where it's like, where you're at, right? With the whole belief system and everything. But sure enough,
I'm delusionally fucking optimistic.
Yeah,
I learned dude, here's the thing. Whatever you believe is true.
No,
I'll just put it out there.
And you've put a lot of belief in me through things that I've seen you do and the belief that you've given me in my own self. And it's like you said, you've had 12 years in the making. I'm on year 3. And, dude, if you would have, pick apart my brain 3 years ago and what the person what this guy's thinking today,
Yeah, night and day.
night and day.
Well, here's the thing, too. If you don't believe something's possible, it'll never happen.
No,
if you believe
yeah.
that it can happen, it might. You want to be the person that has a chance or doesn't have a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just delusionally optimistic. I believe that anything I envision and that God's putting on my heart can come to fruition. And then I have the courage and the grit and determination to take massive action every day towards those goals. Like, here's the thing. You see us talking on social media, on this podcast. You hear these things we're saying. They sound good. You don't see the fucking work we're putting in all day long. Like, maybe we should just document 24/7 what we're doing so you could really see it. Like, what time we get up, how much we work out, our discipline with our nutrition. Like, it's a grind every day. A day in my life would exhaust your ass. You know what I mean? Before 10 a.m. Like, here's the truth. Most people don't stack wins. They don't build themselves up. They don't want it bad enough. I want it bad enough because it was all taken from me. This is just a blessing. It's a second chance. So I'm going to work harder. I'm going to dream bigger, and I'm never going to stop because I love this life. I love this journey. And it's not even like more and more and more because we need it. No. Dude, this is a blessing. The moment I decided to go all in on my true self is the moment that I figured out the secret of life. I could have died after I made that decision, and I would have gone to fucking heaven at peace, dude. I'm telling you. Now, this is all to show other people what's possible and inspire you to do the same in your life. Because there's two paths. The path that you're supposed to take, the path that leads to joy and fulfillment that God wants you to take, and then there's the path that most people choose. The path of least resistance, the path where you settle, the path where you give up on your potential and your dreams. And most people take that path and they die with regrets as a shadow of the man or woman they could have been. Fuck that. Not on our watch. We're here to change the world. We're here to bring this message to you, and we're going to tell you every day what we're doing so you can do it in your life too. Because look, if a drug addict from a broken home who faced life in prison, a drug addict who shouldn't even be here, who almost died in a parking lot, who has a crazy story of overcoming so many moments of adversity, if we could be here talking about purpose and fulfillment, and we're sober and we're healthy, and we're creating success financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in our relationships, why the fuck couldn't you? It's because you're not trying hard enough and you gave up a long time ago. But you can change that right now. Like, Matt, last thing I want to share with anybody. What would you say to someone watching this who really quit and gave up? There's so many guys out there who mentally, they quit and gave up. They settled. And you see it in their bodies. You see it in their demeanor. You see it in their life. They're just okay with like where they're at. But deep down inside, they suffer because of that choice. What would you tell that guy who feels like it's too late to change, or to, oh, I'm 35. Who am I to go out and just like build my dream life, right? You act like you're going to die next week. Well, motherfucker, you might live another 70 years. Yeah. Imagine what you could do in that time. So what would you tell to that guy right now?
For one, it's never too late. Let me tell you something. When I was 24, I was shot out. You probably didn't want nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I just turned 34.
Probably would have robbed your ass.
Yeah, probably. I would have tried. I was probably about 130 pounds soaking wet, but I might have tried. Anyway, I just turned 34 and best shape of my life, driven as a motherfucker. Nothing's going to hold me back from achieving anything that I want to do in this life. I feel the best I've ever felt. About to go hit the stage for my first bodybuilding show, dude. Something I've been wanting to do for a really long time. I love to challenge myself. That's been one of the biggest things that has helped me develop this mindset that has got me to this place right here, was doing shit that put me out of my comfort zone. You know, and I'm going to continue to do that to the day I fucking die. Till I can't do it anymore, I'm going to do that. And I guarantee you, I'm going to throw it out there right now, I will do that Ironman one day. That is one of my biggest goals.
Yeah, you got to call your shot.
I'm calling my shot. But I'm not doing it right now. I don't want to get too skinny, but anyway.
Dude, you want to look back on your life and be grateful that you settled and didn't try shit, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm dying and I didn't do all this stuff I could have done. Yeah. I want to look back on my life and see a highlight reel of exceptional memories and experiences, moments that I tested myself to the limit, achievements that I reached because I had the balls to go for it. Like, I want to look back on a highlight reel of the most incredible moments you could ever imagine. Think about when you're a kid. You look at all these movies and you look up to the main actor, the action hero, the guy who gets the girl that kills the bad guy, like that gets shot 50 times and lives. Like, it's a crazy story, and we look at that and we admire it because that's what we secretly all want to do in our lives. We want to overcome all the adversity. We want to kill all the metaphorical bad guys, and we want to achieve the ultimate life. Stop settling. Stop acting like it's okay to be a pussy, because it's not, dude. You have people that look at you that depend on you. You have kids. You have business partners. You have colleagues at work. You have wives. You have people to inspire. You have the ability to get on social media and be an example for people. But if you guys can't do it for yourself, you're never going to inspire other people. And you're going to suffer, like I said, for the rest of your life. So I hope someone listened to this message today and realized, damn, I have more to give to the world. I'm just not trying. Damn, I have more to give the world. I'm just not pushing myself hard enough. Fuck that. From this moment forward, you could change your life just like we did.